And good morning, YouTube. How's it going? It's Tuesday, September 20th, 2022, 2:35 a.m. Oh yeah, this is an odd time to leave the house, but I desperately need to get some food. So I'm finally caught up on uploading all my videos. Of course, it helps that I haven't shot a single video since I did my live stream on Saturday night. And what has happened since then? A whole lot of not much, really. As I kind of was afraid would happen, I've been pretty much knocked out of commission by my broken tooth, and I'm not going to be able to get it extracted until Wednesday morning. So I'm back to being stuck in bed and eating antibiotics and painkillers. The pain has been kind of, at some points manageable, at some points excruciating. It never ceases to amaze me just how much a toothache can hurt. Yeah, I've had at least 3 or 4 periods where I've just been curled up in the fetal position, just kind of whimpering and crying and clenching my fists and waiting for the painkillers to either kick in enough that the pain subsides, or me just become so overwhelmed by the pain that I pass out. And yeah, I've been experiencing quite a bit of both. So my day and night schedule, which is excuse me, still kind of congested. That's been going on for like a week and a half as well. Yeah, my schedule is weird at best. Working 4 nights a week, full time, 10-hour graveyard shifts at Amazon, and then having a Thursday night karaoke show, and being a fan of going out and singing on the weekends, on Fridays and Saturdays. I live a pretty nocturnal schedule as it is, but at this point it's just been, the pills are definitely messing with me, as far as like when I've been sleeping and when I've been staying awake. And unfortunately, since I haven't been shooting any video, I don't really have a record of it. I'm pretty fuzzy on it. I feel like I took my first pills. The best record I have of when I'm doing stuff is my vlogs. And I do recall I shot a video on Saturday. Saturday when I left the urgent care, and then went from there to my to the iPhone repair shop over at 16th Street and Bethany Home Road, and did quite a few errands that morning, and those are the last videos that I actually shot, not counting my live stream. Oh, looks like we got something going on over here. Wow. Whoa, almost walked into an abandoned stolen shopping cart. That's just sad. At least this particular walk, people are, there's that one homeless person asleep on his little makeshift bed, or whatever you want to call it. And sometimes this walk to QT is just like, it's just like zombie land. Last time I tried to video this walk on my vlog, it got really out of hand to the point I actually shut my camera off because people were making me very uneasy, and it ended up not catching any of it because I was shooting it with the Obama phone, and the camera app crashed on me. But awfully quiet out here tonight. Just one person camping there by the corner of the park with 2 shopping carts full of garbage and another big pile of garbage. I still can't really wrap my head around the whole homeless people carrying shopping carts and loads of garbage around thing. I'm still waiting for the day somebody interviews a homeless person, and to be honest, I've never really had the nerve to do that. I'm a pretty non-confrontational person who kind of keeps to himself, but I know there are a handful of local YouTubers here in Phoenix and others in other markets that do interview the homeless, and I would just love one of them once to ask that question. Hey, what's up with all the garbage? What's up with the shopping cart? Like, what's in your shopping cart that's so important that you carry around with you, that you had to steal a shopping cart, all that stuff. So I'm at the QT. This sign always cracks me up. It says, this door to remain unlocked when the building is occupied by order of the fire marshal. But they lock it at night. Just to be fair, I do support the store locking at night because I've seen shoplifters sneak out the side doors with stuff. So I definitely, appreciate QT, doing that and understand why they do that. I'm just curious how the fire marshal feels about that. Anyway, I'm gonna pause this while I go inside the store and get myself some food. My antibiotics are to be taken with food, and I found out at about 4 p.m. What happens if I take them without food, and yeah, it was not good. Haven't really ate since then, and I'm worried that all the time I spent on the toilet basically losing my insides, and the upset stomach that resulted from taking the antibiotics and the painkillers on an empty stomach. I'm worried they may have decreased the effectiveness of the antibiotics. Yeah, not trying to do that again. Anyway, heading into the store. I'll resume this when I head out. And welcome back, YouTube. Wasn't in there too long. It's 2:52 a.m. There's a guy that just walked into the store that looks like he's doing the fentanyl shuffle. Oh, no, fuck. Shit, I just dumped my tea. I hate that they don't have the tables here anymore to set your stuff down on, but I tried to put it on that pole, and oh fuck, hopefully they're kind enough to let me refill. Well, they were kind enough to let me refill my drink, which I appreciate. Let's try this again. It's 2:54 a.m. So as I was stating, there was a guy doing the fentanyl shuffle in there. Like walked into the QT by that door right as I was coming out. He's just all hunched over, just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe what they do when they're all strung out on blues, but that guy is definitely doing it. Oh, here they come. That's him. The woman was actually inside at the fountain when I went to the fountain. I guess my walk over was a little not what I expected. The zombies are coming out now. The zombies definitely coming out again. Yeah, hopefully I can make it home without too much incident. But yeah, the guy that walked the bicycle that came out with a woman there, he was hunched over. He was hunched over, just kind of swaying in a weird way. Oh yeah, the zombies are definitely out tonight. He was kind of hunched over in a weird way, and the QT clerk was like, "Are you okay?" Like, clearly he's not okay. Oh, it looks like security's out tonight over at Lifewell. Just saw him. Just heard the vehicle kick on. Just heard the vehicle start up and the lights come on. Apparently the lights coming on was enough to make those people decide to go in a different direction. Gosh, I could make a regular series out of this. Documenting the zombies of 44th Street and Oak in Phoenix every morning at like 3 a.m. Yeah. Looks like all he had to do was turn on his car over there and turn on the headlights. That was enough to get those zombies walking in another direction. I'm kind of surprised he's not coming towards me. I guess the guys probably see me walking by enough, recording with a cell phone to realize that I'm not a problem. I love the first time I got him on video, man. That guy followed me big time. That was entertaining. Some guy sleeping on the sidewalk. So many shopping carts full of garbage over here. It's crazy. Anyway, I guess I got a little little bit of middle of the night zombie footage. Kind of curious about the blonde that was walked out with the guy with the bicycle. What her story is. She looked like she'd probably clean up pretty well. Just saying. So yeah, would love to hear some of those people asked, why the shopping cart's full of garbage? Why are you carrying what is in there? What is in there that's so important that you got to steal a shopping cart? Oh man, and this is frustrating. They just leave so much litter on the street. Anyway, I was trying to explain what was going on with me, and for me being super clumsy, trying to start recording coming out of the QT. Yeah, yeah, a whole lot of nothing really. So I did that live stream, and that was surprising because there were people actually watching it and commenting the whole time. Shoot, when I do a live stream, I'm used to a couple people kind of peeking in on it and going, "Oh, this is boring," just logging off. Occasional questions about Adam, who, by the way, I have had like no contact with since early Friday morning when I sat there. Oh, I got somebody left their clothes behind here. That's interesting. Yeah, no contact with him since I sat with him early Friday morning after my show at Bullock's, and my memories of that are so fuzzy. Yeah, I think after that, after pounding that pitcher of beer right at the beginning of the show, and then also near the beginning of the show, getting that double shot of Sailor Jerry's rum. Yeah, I was pretty much done from then on. Yeah, my memories of the show are still pretty fractured. I don't really remember anything I did afterwards. As far as what I did on Friday, and I don't think I really talked about that much. As y'all saw, or if you have seen, I did a vlog as I was driving there and driving late. Um, um, at best, I would have not really had any time to work on my music by the time I got there. And as it turns out, there's another DJ that occasionally takes DJ Cat's place on Fridays. And part of me was kind of frustrated. It's like, why don't they ever call to let me know, when he's going to be there? Because, but, I mean, regardless, I'm the one who got there late. But even if he had called, Thursday night was the night I absolutely destroyed my iPhone. So he wouldn't have been able to, had he called, he wouldn't have been able to reach me anyway. And in fact, for all I know, the bar might have called. I haven't really looked through my call log to see, just because since getting the phone fixed, my tooth's been in so much pain. I just haven't really been doing anything other than laying in bed and eating pain pills. Attempted to use the Del Taco app again. That was pretty frustrating. They offer free delivery in the app on the weekends right now, and that's pretty cool because I was really in no shape to drive and go get anything. The pain pills I'm taking, I've been warned. It's one of the many warnings in them is not to drive or operate heavy machinery while taking them. So I've been trying to follow that directive, and so yeah, free delivery is an option. I went ahead and took it, but really similar experience to the last time I tried to use the Del Taco app. It started with kind of a reminder to check my offers, and I still had the offer for the 2 free Del Tacos with any purchase. And I saw another one for like a chicken taco del carbone, I think it's called, which basically is the equivalent of like a chicken street taco. They're really good, by the way. They're kind of small for the price, but they're really good. But yeah, it was a free one with like a $3 purchase. So now at this point, I'm expecting the app is only going to let me redeem one of those things, but I go ahead and add the other one to my offers. Select it, and then I go to start my order. Now at this point, I've already gone through it, and I'm aware of how their app, when you select offers, doesn't automatically put the items into your shopping cart the way the McDonald's app and other fast food apps do. So I already know to get those 2 free Del Tacos. Oh, look, we got light up Mickey Mouse over here. Nifty. I already know in order to get the 2 free Del Tacos, I might have to put them in my cart. I could have sworn the last time I used the app, somewhere in the checkout process, it automatically, like, it brought me to a point where it showed what coupons I had, but it only showed one of the 2 coupons, because the 2 I had the last time I tried to use it were for was one for 2 epic tortas for $10, and then the other one was for the 2 free Del Tacos. And it only showed that the one for the 2 free Del Tacos was selected. So I went in and then I realized it absolutely would not let me have both. So I decided on the one for the tortas. Yeah, I never landed on that page. I went through the checkout, and the next thing I know, it was confirming my order. It was showing me how much I was charged, and I was charged for the 2 Del Tacos, which is frustrating because, as I've said before, unless I got a coupon that's giving me free Del Tacos with a purchase, I never order what they call the Del Taco, which is their larger hard shell taco. It's cheaper to get 2 value tacos, and 2 value tacos is more food. So yeah, I always go that route. So kind of frustrated that I bought 2 things I really didn't want to buy. But at that point, like, I'd already completed my order and didn't feel like I had any way to get out of it. I was just, at that point, I was just like whatever. I'm getting free delivery, and I need to. It was kind of getting late on Sunday afternoon. And at that point, I had realized that I was absolutely in no shape between the pain, which was starting to get more severe. And mind you, I was coming up on time to take my pills, which I was warned by the doctor and the pharmacist both, not to take my pills on an empty stomach. So I'm concerned about just getting food delivered to me because I'm in more pain than I'm in pain, and I'm not wanting to drive. So it's like, well, whatever, food's going to be delivered. No sense complaining about $4 and stressing about $4. I just rather get my food here, eat my food. When it gets delivered, hopefully it gets delivered soon, and I can take my pills, and hopefully I'll get a little better. And I'm thinking at this point I need to focus on trying to get a hold of Amazon HR, which I've stated in the past can be pretty tedious, because unlike other employers, when I need to call in sick, I don't just simply call and talk to my boss. It doesn't work like that. In order to get approved, at least it's been my experience, in order to get approved for medical leave from Amazon, you actually have to talk to somebody, which invariably ends up being somebody in a phone bank in India who has such a strong accent that I struggle greatly to understand them. And no exception on this call. But the way it worked last time is I went through the Amazon A to Z app, and I went to where you request for time off, and of course I'm seeing that I don't have enough time. I don't have enough PT. If I had enough PTO to take 4 days off paid leave, obviously I would be doing that. And I've also used quite a bit of my UPT in August, so I can't just fuck off work and come back and be okay that route either. And even if I did have enough UPT, I wouldn't want to waste it when I've got a legitimate medical excuse for not being at work. Save that UPT for when I show up to work in my flip-flops and need to drive home and back and waste an hour doing that. That's what I'm saving the UPT for. But anyway, I for some reason I couldn't get that part of the. Ooh, I just scared one of the feral cats, and it kind of scared me. Anyway, I absolutely could not get that part of the app to work. I would go to the part where you click for medical leave, and of course, most all of the prompts and stuff they all say COVID-19, but they've got all medical leave lumped together there. Just the current build of the app is all focused on COVID-19, as if real sicknesses don't still exist, right? At that point, oh dang, it's starting to rain again. I was feeling pretty good that the rain had stopped. Almost didn't shoot video on the way back because the rain was dripping a little bit. So anyway, sorry, I'm still kind of congested too. And I'm sure this infection, from my tooth is not helping that scenario. I'm sure each of them is contributing to the other. Anyway, when I got to that part of the app, it absolutely didn't work. I would click on it, and it would go to the page where I went to last time, where I forget what I would like. It would load something, and then I would have to click on something, and it would tell me that they would be calling me. And then I did it, and within just minutes, somebody called me, and it was pretty good. And they're calling me, they're ready to talk to me, which is to me a whole lot preferable to calling a number and going through a menu and just being on hold forever, or being faced with endless menus that are difficult to navigate, where you kind of end up, at least me, I end up just sometimes just giving up in frustration. Well, obviously I'm not planning on giving up, because I'm really not trying to lose my job at Amazon over a broken tooth. But on the same token, I can't be operating forklift while I'm in extreme pain and taking pain medications that say don't operate heavy machinery while taking these pills. A forklift is pretty much the very definition of heavy machinery. and damned if I'm going to be line loading while I'm in that kind of pain either. It's just, yeah, no, I need the time off. I do. I know it's going to put me in a financial bind at the end of the month, and whatever. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, even if I have to, ask my landlord to, let me pay rent a week later and pay a late fee or whatever. I have to do what I'm going to have to do, because I'm in, the pain comes and goes, and I'm taking pills, and I have trouble staying awake on the pills, and yeah, that's not compatible with warehouse work. It's just not, nor is it compatible with as long as my drive is to Amazon and back. So anyway, back to the app. Yeah, it wouldn't go to that prompt. I forget exactly what it went to, and maybe I should have screenshot it, but it just kept going to the screen, and it put some text on the screen. It would flash some other text on the screen that would disappear, and then the app would just lock up there. I mean, it wasn't lock up like I could go to other features of the app, but I couldn't get to the point where I clicked the thing to ask for a return call. So I went on Google. Figure a company as big as Amazon has got to have an actual phone number for HR, because not everybody has access to the internet. Not everybody has smartphones with browsers or whatever. And Amazon prides themselves on being accommodating for people with disabilities or whatever. So there's gotta just gotta be an actual phone number to call in. And I found that pretty quick with Google. No real challenge in finding that. And when I did, I called. I was a lot of, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Almost every prompt, once I got past, and obviously it's HR, so half of it's, somebody calling looking for a job versus are you calling as an employee. But once I got to the point where I, told the where I'd pressed to select that I was an employee, and then I got to a prompt where it was like, do you need a medical or disability leave or COVID-19 leave is what it starts with. Then I just got to a whole bunch of prompts that were like blah 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 COVID-19, blah 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 COVID-19, and all this stuff just describing their COVID-19 policy. I'm just like, yeah, can I get to like normal, real medical stuff? Like my tooth is broken and I'm on painkillers and I can't operate a forklift right now. I did eventually get through to a person. Of course, the person was in India. They were very, very difficult for me to understand. And so once I get there, and of course, a lot of the recorded prompts are also trying to, hey, this is faster and easier. You should use the Amazon A to Z app. Like, I kept repeatedly hearing recordings telling me to use the Amazon A to Z app. Yeah, if the Amazon E to Z app had worked for me for this situation, I wouldn't be on this phone line. Hello. Anyway, I get back to. Eventually get to the person, and she's trying to take my information, but she's just asking so many questions. Well, mind you, by this time, my pain has gone up considerably. And my pain is coming from my tooth, so it hurts to talk. So the just talking to this person is aggravating my pain, which is increasingly getting higher. And at this point, I just want to be done with it. It's like, look, I need to go to the dentist. Do I need, if I need to just, that's fine. Just put me in for medical leave. When my appointment I can't get it extracted till Wednesday. We need medical leave till after Wednesday. And, if needed, I'll come back and show you all paperwork from my dentist and my doctor at the urgent care. That's fine. But no, man, just like, between me having to constantly saying, I'm sorry, what did you say? What did you say? And have the person keep repeating themselves in an accent that I find very difficult to understand. Eventually, she's like, oh, well, you need to go through that on the app. And I told her, hey, I tried to do the app. Didn't work. Well, what ends up happening is, and I'm explaining to her how I'm getting to that part in the app, and she's like, well, what I need you to do is close the app. I can't even do that accent, but it's so annoying. But yeah, telling me I need to close the app and then reopen the app. That way I'm following her directions so she knows where I'm at the prompts. Okay, fair enough. So I close the app, I reopen it. I explain to her that I'm running the app on a very low powered, on what is basically a government issue free phone, and it doesn't have much in the way of resources, and it struggles to run the app, which may have been the reason that page never loaded. I would imagine it is. Some apps don't work well on that phone and crash on that phone. And I think Amazon needs to be cognizant of the fact that they don't pay their employees a lot of money, and consequently some of their employees are not going to be using top tier cell phones. They're going to be using older cell phones, or they're going to be using government issue cell phones, and they need to make an effort to make sure that A to Z app, which is what they're sending all their employees for HR purposes, that app needs to be a lean app. It needs to not be resource hungry, so that it runs on older cell phones, and so that it's backwards compatible with older cell phones and with low tier budget phones and free issue government phones. But I digress. So I'm following her directions, and I end up at a login screen, where it wants my Amazon login, and it wants my password. Yeah, I don't know what my password is. I did have one time, and I forget how many months ago it was, but I remember I had one time where I needed to do something. Probably the same sort of thing. I was probably feeling sick and I needed to get time off, but I still had PTO, so I was trying to do it through PTO. And I logged into the A to Z app, and instead of it immediately logging me in, it went to a login screen, and I did not know my password. I struggle with remembering passwords. It's just part of my mental illness. Sometimes I can remember crazy details on completely irrelevant things, and I've read this as a symptom of autism as well. I can remember crazy details that other people consider completely irrelevant way later, but yet I have trouble remembering simple words and names of my own relatives. So it's just, my mind is just spotty like that. And one thing I struggle greatly with remembering is passwords. And then when you start peppering in password requirements such as must have one uppercase letter, must have at least one lowercase letter, must have at least one number, must have at least one special character, and then they have this weird definition of what a special character is, and then there's specifics on how many characters long the password must be, and it ends up being pretty complicated for me. And obviously on something like this, I don't want it to be I don't want to use the same password on everything. That's a security problem, obviously. I absolutely don't remember what my Amazon password was the last time I logged on and I couldn't get on, but I do remember that I needed to go and reset it. And as I recall, at that point, the reset process was pretty straightforward, and where I struggled with it at that time, and if I remember right, at that time, it probably took me 2 or 3 times to give it a new password. Where I struggled was, so you put in your login, which granted, I haven't memorized that either. For some reason, I'm struggling with that. Although I'm getting better at remembering it, because when I load trucks in outbound with the forklift, I have to keep a paper log for each individual truck, and I'm usually loading several trucks simultaneously as the cargo becomes available to load into the trucks. And for each item, each pallet or stack of pallets that I load, I have to write my login in. So by writing it down repetitively, I am starting to remember it. It starts with my name, but with two of the letters transposed, which I think that's where my mind stumbles on it. Instead of it being Daniel as the first 6 letters, it's Danile. I think that's where my brain stumbles with it. Like transpose 2 letters, and you're messing with my brain. You're messing with my dyslexia, which is something that I have a mild issue with as well. So, yeah, like I the way I cope with the mild dyslexia I have is by remembering how words are spelled, and then when you take two words of a word that I'm constantly spelling, like my first name, and flip them around, obviously that's gonna mess with my brain. So, but I mean, whatever. I know I can always grab my ID tag, which I make sure I always know where that is, and I can take that ID tag and just copy it down letter by letter. So I put that in, but then it comes to the point where you've got to type the password that you want. This is after you get a code for password recovery. I hate how they call it password recovery, because they never give you back your password. Like, password recovery would be like, hey, I lost my password, and then you get an email and there's your password and you can copy it and paste it and you've recovered it. Yeah, it's never like that. It's always what is always usually referred to as password recovery is password change routine, which prevents me from learning what my password is. If I'm constantly changing my password, then I'm deprived of the opportunity of memorizing my password. And then, of course, there's a thing in there that says that if you enter a password that you've used before, that you'll be shut out of the system. So the odds are really good that I'm going to try to use a password that I've used before, because I try to use stuff that I can remember. But it's scary knowing I'm risking getting shut out of the system for doing that. So yeah, the whole password reset thing for my employee stuff at Amazon is very extremely stressful for me, especially with the the mental issues that I have. So anyway, I did manage to get through it last time, thank God, because I was really panicking. Like, I was kind of low on time on it. But then, so you've got all these restringent requirements on what your password has to be. And the frustrating thing is, I wish it was the same password that I use as an Amazon customer, because I've had that. I know that password. Although I was thinking about using that same password for my Amazon employee login, and it occurred to me that I couldn't, because the password that I've been using for years and years and years as an Amazon customer, that's on my Amazon customer account, doesn't meet the password requirements of Amazon employee password, because it doesn't have a special character in it. And whoever decided what made a character special, I'd like to know who that person is. Anyhow, so where it becomes really difficult, not only trying to select a password that's different enough from whatever I used before so I don't get locked out of the system and meets all the requirements that they have, I have to try to type it twice on a touch screen. Mind you, my vision is not very good, and I have pretty big stubby fingers. So I really struggle with typing stuff on a touch screen. I'm constantly having to, and whenever I type anything, when I leave a comment on YouTube, when I'm typing an email, anything, when I'm texting, I pretty much nonstop have to go back and correct every few words that I type, because my fingers don't hit the right part of the screen to type the words like I want them to type. So I need to be able to see what I typed, and then see if I made a mistake, and then back up and correct my mistake. The Amazon password reset thing, it doesn't let me do that. Every letter that you type, instead of showing the letter on the screen, it just puts a dot on the screen. So you can see how many letters or how many characters you've typed, but you can't see what they are. So you've got to enter it, and then you've got to enter it again. Yeah, I think last time it took me like 3 tries to enter it twice and get the same thing entered both times, since I can't see what I'm typing, because it for security reasons. Here's a novel concept. When you're typing passwords, stuff, go into a secure place. Like, seriously, if you're in a public place, go into a restroom, go into a stall, act like you're having to take a dump, and shut the door. Then you don't have prying eyes while you type. I don't need to be protected from somebody seeing the word that is on my screen when I'm in my own goddamn bedroom. it's just the security protocol in this just seems stupid. Like, who came up with that? It's ignorant, and it becomes a real problem for people who don't have little pointy lady fingers and good vision and have any other kind of mental type issues. So I'm really struggling to get that in. Now, the last time I did it, I did manage to get it changed. I did manage to get my PTO put in, and thankfully I've not been locked out of the Amazon A to Z app since. However, when I got to the screen, and mind you, I was getting into the A to Z app. Like, I can get on the A to Z app right now. I can see my schedule. I can see pretty much everything I need to see, but I couldn't get to the page to put in for medical leave. Well, on the medical leave thing, when I followed the directions of this person with the very hard to understand Indian accent, I ended up on this page that wanted that. And she's like, well, let me direct you to someone else and they'll help you change your password. Yeah, they couldn't help me. I kept explaining to them what I was doing, and they kept telling me, well, do this, do this, do this. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? And they couldn't tell me how to do it. And I kept explaining to them that my problem is that I'm typing, but I can't see what I'm typing. How do I make it so I can see what I'm typing? And they're like, well, you can't. I'm like, well, that's a problem. And after I must have been at this for like 30 minutes. So mind you, during the middle of this, my delivery driver showed up with my Del Taco. So I had to deal with trying to answer the door and get my food. And at this point, my pain level has just gone up high to the point I'm crying, just from sheer frustration and excruciating pain of an abscessed broken tooth. And I'm finally like, ma'am, I can't. This is not working. I can't do this. She's like, are you okay? I said, no, I'm not okay. I told you, I have an abscessed broken tooth and I'm in intense pain. I said, it hurts to talk. Do you understand? It hurts to talk. You keep making me talk. Why can't you just finish this and get me off the phone so I don't have to talk anymore? This hurts. I'm in pain. You are causing me more pain. And finally she's like, well, okay, well, we're going to contact your warehouse and they'll contact you. Thank you. That's fine. That works. I can't keep doing this. This does not work. I can't do this. I need somebody that can actually, type for me because I can't do this with the pain that I'm experiencing and the other physical limitations that I have and mental limitations that I have. And so finally she let me off the phone, but it was just horrible. And by then I was just in so much pain and I was just crying from it. And finally, she let me go, and I was able to eat my burritos and take my pills. And shortly thereafter, Priscilla showed up. That made things a little bit better, thank God. But anyway, God, I wasn't at 34 minutes. I can't believe anybody's gonna actually watch and listen to that. But anyway, that's what I had to cope with, just trying to get time off. And I'm still not 100% sure if it's been allowed or not. I don't know. I haven't seen a confirmation email telling me that I've been approved, but then again, I haven't seen a confirmation email telling me I'm fired. I figure at this point I'm following medical directions, and when I get back to the warehouse, if I've been fired for not showing up because my issues with people from India that I can't understand handling HR not well because they want me to type something that I'm unable to see when I type. I'm hoping when I get, when I deal with my own local HR at GYR3 that, if it hasn't been handled, that I can handle it with my own people. I'm hoping. It would really suck if I lost my job over this, but I'm just doing what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm surprised my pain isn't as high as it should be, or as it has been previously. It's not too terrible bad right now, but I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what time it is. It's damn it. When I'm shooting video vertically, I can always just kind of pull my screen down and see what time it is. But for some reason, when I shoot, horizontally, when I'm shooting video horizontally, I can always pull my screen down and see what time it is. But if I try to do that on an iPhone when I'm horizontally, if I'm doing it horizontally, I can pull it down. I can see the time. But if I try to do it when I'm doing vertically, by the time I pull that thing down enough to see the clock, so I can pull it down, I can see some of my push-through notifications. But when I pull it all the way down where I can see where the clock is, I end up killing the recording. So I got my Obama phone. It is 3:30, 3:31 now. Yeah. Damn. I'm still coughing up so much phlegm. You think the antibiotics would be making that go away too, but it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Anyway, I last took my pills, I want to say, like I've been taking them at around, I'm supposed to take them twice a day, so I've been taking them around 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. My last ones I think I took closer to like 4:30. I forget what time I fell asleep. I've got some other pain pills I'm taking in addition to the prescription ones, which I haven't really been directed to do that by a doctor like I was last time, but I figure this is pretty much just a rehash of what I went through 3 weeks ago with the other abscess teeth. So, yeah, so far I haven't had any ill effects from it, although I did have ill effects this afternoon from taking my pills on an empty stomach. Oh, that was awful. Anyway, instead of taking it at 3, I took it at about 3, I took it about 4:30. So I don't know. I'll figure I'll be fine to take it as soon as I get in. But yeah, I want to wrap this up. Yeah, pretty disappointed with how the whole HR experience went with Amazon, and I just hope to God I'm not fighting for my job over this. But I kept telling her multiple times, it's like, ma'am, I'm not somebody who knows how to do these things on cell phones. I'm not a computer tech. I'm a forklift operator. I'm a forklift operator taking pain medication that says not to operate heavy machinery. I'm just trying to do the right thing here. Oh, I understand. No, you don't understand, because you're keeping me on the phone and my mouth hurts. Anyway, it was frustrating. Thanks for coming with me on the walk. I gotta go in, eat my burritos, or eat my sandwich and take my pills.